Good afternoon. It is very hot today. Muy caliente. But I want to talk about what happened on August 2nd, 2024 in southeast New Mexico. Another man died in a killer bee attack. And it's being covered up. I talked to a person at the Bureau of Land Management and I said, "Is this oil company trying to cover it up?" And he said, "Shh, don't talk about it." Well, I will talk about it because that man did not die of an allergic reaction. There were 3 men. The oil company knew they had a problem for weeks. As soon as that compressor turned on, the bees would attack anything around. There was a colony under the compressor and people couldn't get near the machinery. So on that Friday, 3 men were told to, one was a loader operator, and he picked up the machinery, and 2 men with shovels went in. No bee suits, no protection. They tried to remove the colony. All 3 of them went to the hospital, and 1 man went into cardiac arrest and died. People are joking about this. I'm just amazed. I'm astounded that people would be so callous about the death of a human being. And these same people are ones that hive Africanized bees. They have no compunction about keeping these bees right here in Carlsbad. Yes, we lost Lucille Kincaid 24 years ago, and we're gonna lose another person. I was called out a month ago because a woman was mowing around her French broom right off of Blodgett behind the Dentonwood Funeral Home, and she was stung a dozen times before she could run away. She went to the hospital. I removed that colony. It was like this. And I got a whole bunch of flack on Facebook because of it. People saying, "Stop killing the bees." Well, you know, honeybees are not native to the Americas, and they're not endangered. Anyone who believes that nonsense is ignorant. That whole narrative, Save the Bees, came about, I want to say 2007, 2008, when they were still using neonicotinoid pesticides, and colony collapse disorder is directly related to that pesticide use, but it was banned in 2012. And in 2016, 2 solitary bees on the Hawaiian Islands were put on the endangered species list. They're not honeybees. It was because it was an island ecosystem and they were subject to habitat destruction and invasive non-native species. Nothing to do whatsoever with honeybees. If honeybees were to disappear tomorrow, pollination would still occur. The whole narrative is bogus. I recently had a colony that swarmed. I was very careful to demarie all my colonies, but this one did get away from me, and I split it, and I wanted to see what would happen. You know, if I could allow my bees to naturally propagate, but it was a disaster. Both queens mated with drones that were Africanized, and the resulting bees were Africanized. If you know anything about genetics, I mean, beyond your high school Mendel's peas genetics, and I wonder if people in New Mexico even understand that much, because we're dead last in the nation in education. But basic genetics and gene expression, the Africanized genes are so dominant that once a queen mates with the Africanized drones, the European genetics are never expressed again. And you know, the virgin queen goes out to mate. She mates up in the air with as many as a dozen drones. If the drone congregation is made up almost exclusively of Africanized drones, no European drone can compete. The Africanized drones fly faster and stronger. Those European genetics don't stand a chance, and they are not expressed, especially in an invertebrate. You end up in a single generation with an Africanized hive. So last Monday I talked with Zia bees and Longeva bees in Vadito, New Mexico, and I said, yeah, I'll take 2 queens, and they like to use these queen cages, and I got them Wednesday morning, 4:30. The postal hub called me, and I had already removed the 2 queens, and I put these in, and beautiful queens. Kudos to Zia bees, Longeva bees. For the beginner, if you want thoroughbred Italians, I recommend Barnyard Bees in Georgia. They will mail them USPS. They come, and they are slightly hygienic. I mean, they're beautiful if you buy a package or just a queen, you know. I've bought several Italian queens from them. Last year, I bought 3 Carniolans from Lappy's Bees. I think it's in Iowa. And nice Carniolans. It was my Carniolan hive that overwintered, and then it swarmed despite all my precautions. But last year I bought 3 of them, and they came in these undersized queen cages with this black insert. And while I was trying to install one, the insert fell out, and the queen was instantly killed by the colony I was trying to install her in. So Lappy's was very kind to refund me my money, and 2 queens made it. These are your usual queen cages. But yes, here in southeast New Mexico, If you just get a random swarm and you hive that puppy, chances are it's going to be Africanized. We have good beekeepers here in Carlsbad, but we have one very bad beekeeper. He hives anything and everything. He has an extensive family support group. Face it, the man's got charisma. I want to be his friend, but he has made himself an enemy. I'm not the only beekeeper in Carlsbad and Eddy County, but I'm a good one. And Ephraim, you reap what you sow. Be not deceived, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. I'm the New Mexico Bee Lady. Please give me a like and be a good beekeeper. You ought to be able to lift up the lid on your hive and be able to show it to someone and say, look, these are good bees. I can lift up the frame and see the bees working. We shouldn't have killer bees. Send those demons straight back to hell. That's all.